Hi guys, welcome to the realm of astrology. This is your daily horoscope for 14th July 2021, which is a Wednesday. But before we begin, I would like to let you know that I do daily horoscopes, weekly horoscopes, and monthly sun, rise, and sign horoscopes that you can watch all on my YouTube channel. I also request you to hit the subscribe button, hit the bell icon so that you can be notified every time I post a video. Now let's talk about what's happening in the astrology today. And let's begin with the moon. The moon is in the sign of Virgo, and it's right here at 14 degrees. And at 14 degrees, it is trining Uranus in Taurus, right? 120-degree angle, an aspect that facilitates things, makes things happen quite easily. And in this case, we can feel a sudden, unexpected change to our emotions. That's one. We can also have a sudden, unexpected change in our reality, in our day. It could be something connected to our day-to-day routine. It could be something connected to our habits, to our diet, to exercise, to getting planned, to getting organized. It could also be something connected to our self-worth, values, and skills, and even finances. So yes, this is a feel-good energy for our emotions, but it's connected to the material world in the ways that I mentioned, because these two planets are in earth signs, right? Taurus and Virgo. Earth is all about the physical reality. So that's a moment where we will feel good unexpectedly, suddenly, and this can be very well connected to our day-to-day routine, to the planning that we are trying to do, to getting organized, to our self-worth, to our values, to finances, to any of these things. And that's 4 a.m. Pacific time. Soon after this, actually, the next important aspect is in the evening. So I'm going to move up the chart so you can see this. And it is that the moon at 23 degrees is going to oppose Neptune, right? 180-degree angle. And this can not be the easiest energy, to be completely honest with you, because the moon is our heart and soul, it's our emotions, and Neptune is the planet of confusion. It is the planet of delusions. It can really fog our clarity. It is also the planet of depression and isolation and things like that. On the other hand, it is the most magical planet. It is the most spiritual planet. So this energy can be manifested in two ways. One, we can feel quite confused emotionally. We can feel a little low emotionally at this point, about 8 p.m. Pacific time. And that's one manifestation. And since they are in opposition, 180-degree angle, which is considered challenging, the negative manifestation of Neptune is likely. It is a point where we might just feel very overly sensitive with our emotions. A little bit of depression can be there, a little bit of feeling low, a little bit of feeling confused and overreacting to things. So my suggestion would be that perhaps letting this energy pass is a good way. And this is a point where if you're in the process of deciding something, maybe hold it off for a couple of hours, because like I said, Neptune can cause a lot of confusion. And in Virgo is the most practical, right? They're opposing signs, Pisces and Virgo. Pisces is the spiritual realm. Virgo is our reality. And in Virgo, we want reality. So with an opposition to Neptune, we can be confused about certain things. So it's best to let that energy pass. Alternatively, there is a chance that this can be a magical spiritual moment. This can be an opportunity for us to align our day-to-day reality with our spirituality, integrating these two elements. It could be a moment where through some back and forth between oneself, we say, okay, this is my routine and it's going to, because I have this spiritual practice, I'm going to make it this way, kind of aligning your routine with your spiritual practice. Or something to do with your health or your job could also come into play at this point. But my suggestion is best to let this energy pass. Because soon after this, 3 hours after this energy, the moon's going to move on and trine Pluto, right? At 25 degrees. Moon, trine Pluto, 120-degree angle, positive, earth signs. Now this is another point where we can really transform and heal our emotions. And that healing, that transformation will come quite easily on the new moon, which happened last week, July 9th. And on Saturday, we had the moon oppose Pluto. So whatever transformation and healing took place required effort. But this is effortless. Okay, so whatever transformation is taking place, whatever healing, whatever is ending. And endings are not always a bad thing, right? Can come quite easily. And this, yes, can be an emotional transformation, but this is more, I feel, a transformation to a material reality, right? Like, could be our self-worth, could be our day-to-day routine, could be our habits, could be getting organized. That's transforming certain material things in our life. And before I move on, I would also like to mention that Pluto is retrograde, right? Neptune is retrograde. So a lot of planets are retrograde. Saturn is retrograde. Jupiter is retrograde. 4 outer planets out of 5, only Uranus is direct, right? And this means right now we are reviewing, reprocessing things from the past, not the distant past, the recent past. And the goal of this is so that we can approach the things that we've already been through once with a different perspective. And let me also tell you that this, approaching it a second time like this, is not the end of it. We'll approach it another time, right? And that's when the process will become complete. So we know, we've seen all these things that are coming up slowly. We've seen glimpses of them before. They've come up in different ways before. And now we have to address them and deal with them in a different way. It's the next step in the process. There's 3 steps, right? 1, when the planet goes over that spot once. 2, when it retrogrades. And 3, when it goes direct for the final time. So right now we're in the second point. So a lot of this energy, this figuring out, this planning, yes, there's a new beginning, but it has its roots in the recent past. And that's the basic energy for the day. We are building up to the Neptune and Sun trine, right? Technically, it happens tomorrow, but you can see it's really close now. I'll move up the chart. So post midnight, it starts to build up more, but it happens technically tomorrow. So we'll talk about it in tomorrow's reading. And this is a positive aspect, so nothing to worry about. We will also see Chiron go retrograde tomorrow. So that's something else that will lead to a shift in energy. That's another planet that's going retrograde, right? So a lot of reviewing the past, a lot of rewards from the past, a lot of the past coming back, right? So that's the energy for the day. And now, before I pick a card for the day, I will give a brief background. And these are the undercurrents that we deal with on a daily basis. If you've seen this, please skip to the card reading. If not, I urge you to watch at least once. And the reason I do this is because these energies stay constant. Day to day, we are dealing with them, but we don't talk about it. But they are more important because they stay with us. They form the theme of the year. Today might be a positive day, right? For example, tomorrow might be a very stressful day. But the underlying theme is not going to change. And these are those themes. And the first is the Saturn-Uranus square. We're going to have this energy all year. It's coming after 21 years, so a long time. And this energy is about getting rid of old things that don't serve us and embracing the new. It's also about embracing your new authentic self. And this process of shedding the old and embracing the new, shedding the idea of who you think you should be and embracing who you actually are, will feel quite challenging. And we're going to be doing this all year and even into next year. The second thing is the Saturn-Jupiter cycle, right? This cycle started in December of 2020, so about 6 months ago. And these planets meet up once in 20 years. It's a 20-year cycle. And when they meet up, we begin a new 20-year cycle. So in December of 2020, we ended an old cycle and started a new one. And we are setting the base for the next 20 years. We will continue to do this for the next 2 years. So that's another thing we do on a daily basis. The third thing is the Saturn-Pluto. Now this happened over a year and a half ago, Jan of 2020, but it's a big deal. It's a big deal because these planets met up after 38 years. And they started a new cycle, a cycle that has changed our reality in a very powerful way since Jan of 2020. And I think we will still be figuring this cycle out. We will still be laying the foundation for this very subtly for the next 2-3 years. And this cycle is here to stay till 2053. And the last thing I'll touch upon are the nodes. The North Node is in Gemini, the South Node is in Sag. They were in this spot, Gemini and Sag, between 2001 and 2003. And the nodes are karmic, right? So whenever they're in the same spot, they can bring up karmic events from that time frame. So from 2001, 2003, if you are dealing with similar themes, similar events, similar situations, it's because we need to close out that karmic cycle, review those things, or build on them, or just, let them go. And this has been happening since May of 2020, and this will happen all of this year as well. So that's the basic background, and let's pick a card for today, and then we'll close it out. Okay, it's flipped really fast, so it says chopped wood. And I think we got this card, I think it was for the weekly, if I'm not mistaken. And chopped wood has two interpretations for me. One of those things ties into the Saturn Uranus of getting rid of things, chopping things out of our life that don't serve us anymore, right? What is it that we need to let go of? It's time. We have to make that happen. And the second thing is, chopping wood is like a very mundane sort of task, It's a very mundane task. And in some ways, it's being very grounded in this reality, right? You're very grounded when you're doing something like chopping wood. And I feel this week, because this came up in the weekly as well, is about being grounded. And today especially, because the moon is in Virgo. Virgo is our reality. It is an earth sign. It is about being grounded. It is about the mundane. It is about the day-to-day, right? So that's the energy, that focus on the day-to-day, focus on the mundane, focus on your immediate reality. And at the same time, think of what you need to let go of. And that's all I'm going to say for today. Tomorrow we are going to see the Sun and Neptune trine. We are going to see Chiron go retrograde. So we'll talk about that. And if you want to know what this week holds for you, for your rising sun sign, then you can watch my weekly horoscope, which is already on my channel. And I will see you all tomorrow. Have a great day.